There we go. There we go. I like
You
it.
look sinister. You look like...
Yeah, it's I have this great light right behind my head, so it looks really good.
What's up, Hill?
And letting Eric in. Everyone's here.
Oh,
Oh
shit.
my god.
We're all getting fired.
Holy shit. Dave Clayman.
This thing on? Does this work?
It is on. Yeah, I hear you.
On.
The internet.
The internet. We did it. We're all online. Well, we're in
Oh,
Fred.
Man, Eric, how many years has it been?
2 days.
Oh, there's Fred.
2 days.
Since Friday at like 4.
What's up?
What's up,
All right,
dudes?
boys, we are recording. So
They can say.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, wait. Did Charles made the agenda, right?
Yeah, of course.
oh, we forgot to invite Charles.
Charles made the agenda, then we didn't invite him.
Which one died? Was that Charles? Or was Nate?
No, that was Nate. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Nate died.
Yeah,
Tragedy.
tragically.
Still dead.
Tragically, yes.
I don't know what episode this would even be, but welcome back to TRL, Three Red Lights podcast. We don't even have rights to the music or anything. It's going to be pretty fucking good. I'm Hillary. We got Dave Clayman. Say hi, Dave.
Hi.
We got the ghost of Nate Ahern.
Hello. Ooh, spooky. So Halloweeny.
We got Eric Brodvig.
Yes, still.
We got Ty Root. All good.
Tyroot, the anime character.
The anime character, yes.
Weird.
I'm oddly aroused, and makes me feel uncomfortable. But before we get into why we're here and all that stuff, I think we have an ad because we got to pay for this.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. So I don't know how this happened, but we got sponsored. I didn't even tell anyone.
We're famous, man.
Okay, so I just have a few ad reads. I just got these, so let me. So the first
Really?
sponsor of TRL is Quibi 2. That seems soon. But anyway, so from the team that changed Netflix to Quickster and tried to bring back MySpace, it's Quibi 2. What's today's hottest trend? The internet. What if I told you could watch TV on the internet? Well, now for the first time ever, you can. The old Quibi had one problem, the pandemic, and now that the pandemic is over, Quibi is back and better than ever. Quibi 2 has tons of exclusive content, and it's all chopped up into 210-second segments in Tate mode, which is widescreen but vertical. So check out new shows like Doxed, a prank show with Dax Shepard, Barkitecture LA, Rob Gronkowski flips celebrity doghouses, A Big Bowl of Plain Pasta, that's a cooking show, TikTok, which is literally they just copied videos from TikTok, and Dumptown, which is Steven Soderbergh's new docudrama, filmed entirely on baby monitors. So,
Dumptown.
Wait, that's Quibi 2. So anyways, back to you, Hill.
Yeah, this
Thank
is
you, Quibi, too.
officially still the worst podcast. Why are we doing this? Well, I think at some point on Twitter we had said, like, if Trump ever got impeached, we all promised that we would actually do a podcast. That happened a long time ago, but none of us do this shit anymore. So I think it just took us a long time to get our crap together. If you listen to this before the election on Tuesday, go out and vote. Vote for Biden. We're not apolitical here. Don't be an asshole and vote for Trump. If you vote for Trump, you can't listen to this podcast anymore. And delete any old ones and delete your memory of ever listening to the podcast. You're not allowed. It's just not allowed. So we're fulfilling our promise, but in traditional TRL fashion, we're fulfilling it probably 6 months after we were supposed to do it.
Normal.
We're very on brand. We got to stay on brand here.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, you guys were supposed to do this 6 months ago?
And whenever Trump was impeached, yeah.
Whenever Trump was impeached, that was the original deal, was when he got impeached. But here we are now. It's better late than never, folks.
I mean, you still did it. It just took a long time. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, the same number of 3 people are going to listen to it, so who gives a shit? Hey, what are you drinking? That looks like old fashioned, maybe?
That's exactly right. This is an old fashioned Four Roses bourbon.
Are you old enough to drink?
I just turned 21 recently. I know.
Congrats.
I know.
Congratulations.
I know.
Yes.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
So,
This is my first drink, and I can't even see.
so doing the math, that means during the last episode you were 11.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I lied to you when you first hired me at IGN when I was 21 years old. 21 in quotes. I was actually 11.
11.
Yeah, man, this whole death thing is really kind of fucked up now.
Right. You guys killed a minor and you didn't even realize it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we have a tight time limit in true fashion. We have like 30 minutes or something. So
40. We have 40.
into the next ad because we got to pay for this.
Yep.
Oh, the next ad. Yeah. Okay. Well, we only have 2 more, I think, but the next ad is from, I've never heard of this, Buck Hardman Bro Box. So there are lots of subscription services, but what about one just for dudes? That's where Buck Hardman comes in. This isn't one of those wimpy subscription boxes that just sends socks or groceries. This is stuff you actually want. So every 2 days, Buck Hardman drops a wooden crate in your yard to lure you out of your home. And then if you make it past the snipers, you'll find an assortment of manly items like 5 gallons of crude oil, flannel, a big piece of leather, a tire iron, a piece of bacon, a copy of NFL 2K5, and a feral animal. So for just $29.99, $99.95 a month, this is a subscription service that men can't do without, and you can't cancel at any time. Can't?
I miss you so much, man.
So this is a perfect addition to your Buck Hardman Bro supplement regimen, including the Maximum Tea, Fungus Tea, and Alpha Performance Suppository for up to 72 hours of maximum peak performance. That's Buck Hardman Bro Box. Subscribe wherever things are sold.
These ads are really good.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
got really good sponsors. I'm kind of
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys
amazing.
landed those 2 sponsors so quickly, but
Well, I put out the tweet, or like you guys tweeted, and then I responded, and then these sponsors just kept pouring in. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
they wanted a piece of that TRL magic.
Can we quit our day jobs after this podcast? Great.
Wait, you guys, I quit. Was that bad? Should I not have done that? I misunderstood. What
This
was
is what we're doing now, right?
Yeah.
This is what we do.
This is my livelihood.
Every
You've
6
seen
months,
it.
we do like a 30-minute podcast.
there
Yeah.
better be a crap load more of impeachments.
Oh, they're coming.
You can do it.
All right, let's do around the horn. Where the hell have people? Where the hell have you guys been? So Eric, where have you been? You've been gone from TRL for, has it been 10 years, 12 years? Long time?
Been
10 years?
10 years. 10 years sounds close.
2010?
It's accurate.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been around. I've been places. You can find me. It's okay. I'm in Seattle now.
Okay.
That's yeah. I don't know.
So
What do you
You
want
went
to know?
from San Francisco where? You went from San Francisco to LA. When you worked at IGN, you lived in San Francisco.
I was in San
and-
Diego for a few years.
You went to San Diego.
Then I was in LA. Now I'm in Seattle.
Do you have a job?
I have a job. I have 2 kids now.
Oh,
Got
that's
married,
that's more
got
important than the
divorced.
job.
So that all I did the whole life thing, and now I'm here.
Yeah. 2 kids.
Are they your kids, or did you just take somebody's kids?
I think they're mine.
Okay.
Do you
They
live
look
in
like
the
you.
exclusion zone, or what? What's that?
The exclusion
anarchism?
zone.
Oh yeah, the Capitol Hill. What's it called?
Yeah,
What the heck is
the
that thing called?
yeah, what
Something
is-
zone. Anonymous and
Oh,
not
Chaz or
The
Chad.
eponymous-
That.
the epo-
Chaz. Yeah,
the
Chaz.
Chad.
The Chad. Yeah.
The Chad.
Douchiest
I don't.
thing
No, I
of
don't
all
live
time.
in the Chad.
Do you wish that you did?
Do you live inside of Chad?
No, I don't wish I lived inside Chad. That was basically a bunch of people LARPing for about a month.
That's why I
the
asked.
police rolled in and shut it down.
Well, that's why I asked, because you're still LARPing, right?
Well, I'm still LARPing. They didn't shut me down.
Of course. Can never stop that.
Eric is a actual knight of the round table that LARPs
Oh,
as
God.
Eric.
That
He
I
LARPs
believe.
as a normal guy.
Dave,
Probably
give us
the
your
best
geographical
description.
history since leaving IGN.
My history?
Yeah, just geographical. We don't want anything else.
Oh,
Where do you live?
I was gonna say, because I've been in a coma since 2010. That new company with the mustaches on the cars. What was that one that came out?
Yeah, it's Uber.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Uber with the
Uber
mustaches.
right?
One of those
Uber with Uber
mustaches.
mustaches.
You've
I
been
quit.
one of the mustaches.
I quit IGN. I stepped out of the building, and one of those mustaches, there was an accident. It hit me in the head, and I've been in a coma since 2010. And then I was shipped to DC, and then Virginia, a place called Christiansburg, Virginia, where, let's be honest, if you're a Jew, you're going to end up in Christiansburg, Virginia at some point. Living there for a couple of years.
Christiansburg.
That's where the climax of American Gods takes place, oddly, which I found out when I read that book. And then I was in LA, and now I'm not going to tell you where I am.
I mean, if you're in my backyard or something, that's pretty weird.
He's inside your house. That background is to conceal that he's actually in your kitchen right now.
I lean over and just poke out.
I have three.
I was gonna
kids,
say,
so
it looks
nobody
like
wants
you're
to hang out at my house. So
It looks
yeah,
like you're in
fair
Terrace
enough.
Kazi, Dave.
Yeah, this is the Terrace Kazi spaceport.
I was gonna say, Dave's still playing that game. Circa 2010. He fell asleep. He fell into a coma in 2010 and woke up and he's still playing that game.
You guys aren't playing this game?
I'm just curious who wins. It looks like Luke Skywalker's having a hard time over there against Han Solo. So
Han's gonna take him down. Han's gonna shoot first.
yeah,
It's not a well-balanced game.
yeah.
Well, look, we brought you a review and everything. This is old TRL.
779 something.
Nate, what the hell have you been up to?
Have I been up to? After IGN, I stayed in San Francisco, worked for some companies there, some big, some small. I like how we're all being we're not like saying names of things. It's very cloak and dagger.
Is it a secret? Just like
I moved up north after that. I lived in Seattle for 6 years. I bought a house in Seattle. I had 2 kids in Seattle.
Did you live in there?
I did. I with the house that I sold because I didn't like owning a house.
Wait,
Owning
Eric
houses.
moved into a house.
That's right. I sold my house to Eric. Eric, I hope
Yep.
I hope the stains in that one corner of the bedroom are okay with you.
Really, really not cool that you didn't flush the toilets when you left, but
Gotcha. Gotcha,
See?
motherfucker. and then I left Seattle after a good 6 years there. I have been where I am now, outside.
Living outside?
just living outside.
Just
Really
outside.
didn't like owning a home, so now he's just homeless.
That's
Yeah.
right. I really didn't like owning a
Just
home.
outside.
I've taken my 2 kids and my wife, and we're enjoying the great outdoors for the last couple of years.
That's romantic, man.
Yeah, thanks. It's just living,
I mean, you've been on
God's
the
country.
podcast a bunch of times. What have you been up to?
I moved back to Texas and invested heavily in a local company here called Fleshlight. And we did so well that I was able to get a condo in outer space. So
True IGN story. One time we got a box of fleshlights in the
Yeah.
office.
that's how I got introduced to the company.
Yeah, and then one day, 3 of them just disappeared from the crate.
Well, sorry. I was starting my sales role early there.
Makes
R&D.
Yeah,
R&D. Yeah,
I can make it better.
I'm still in Texas. I'm still in Austin. Watching people run Biden trucks off the road on I-35.
That was you.
I have a house now. I have a wife. I got married finally at 40.
Congrats. Hey,
So,
Hey!
Nice.
Right.
you know,
Congrats.
Mom is
Finally,
happy.
some good news.
hey, Ty, I waited till I was 40 and I have 3 kids. So,
You waited till you were 40 to get married?
no, I waited till I got married a bunch of times, but I waited till I was 40 to start having kids.
I don't think that's true.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. Don't wait to have kids. Everybody should be having unprotected sex when they're really young, because when you're over 40, lifting up a bunch of kids is the worst experience of your life.
Yeah.
The first time, because kids are heavy. I didn't know that kids just keep getting heavier.
Wait, how many kids do you have?
That's
You
3.
said to stop feeding him. Hill, you got to stop feeding him.
Okay.
Oh, that's the
Got it.
problem.
Yeah,
They
we
always
have-
want food. They know how to ask for candy and shit. I
Still
never left
got it.
IGN, by the way. So that's why
I was
they just-
curious, Hillary.
yeah,
Are
they
you still-
they canceled
where
my
are you?
publishing rights, so I can't. I've been writing articles for a decade,
There you go.
making podcasts, but I can't upload them. So
Oh
it's
no.
kind of been-
Did you get put into Doug in a box?
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Stuck in a box. Wait,
I
Hillary,
think
where
I
are
moved
you?
remote. I experienced the world more than anybody after leaving IGN, because I lived in Seattle, Utah, Orlando, Utah, back to San Francisco, back to Seattle now.
Oh, you're in Seattle. Okay.
So, are you living in Nate's house too? With
Yeah.
With Eric?
Big
Yeah, he's
house.
just one
It was
room
a
over.
big house.
Okay,
It
he's
was a
right
big
there.
house.
Okay, good. Okay.
He's right over there.
This looks like Zoom, but this is just windows in a house of us
Yep.
living in different floors.
And Nate's out back.
Outside.
We all just moved in together. I mean, isn't that how it worked?
That's right. That's yeah.
The
We
influencer
got
house.
15 kids
That's what we're
running
doing.
around. And,
Oh yeah. It's one of those LA influencer party houses.
yeah, exactly.
Except no party, no
And Nate's not
influence.
allowed inside.
No,
Nate-
that's
Nate's-
fine.
Yeah,
Nick,
I'm just
you can't
outside
come in.
banging on the windows. It's cold. Rains a
have,
lot in Seattle.
I have one super important question to ask everybody, and then we're gonna do rapid fire before this ends, which is
All right.
everybody's gonna answer this question. Why do you think people liked the Three Red Lights podcast when it was so bad? Like legitimately, like it was a really bad podcast. Like, why do people like it? Because every once in a while someone is like, TRL was great, and I'm like, no, it was really bad.
Because as
So,
bad
Dave,
as it
why do
was,
people like this shit?
it was still better than most people's lives who were listening to it.
I think there was some
Including
realness
including my
to it.
own.
I think there was some realness to it. Like I think we did just kind of bring ourselves in there and just like talked about like whatever the hell we wanted to talk about in a given week. Like we all loved Lost and made that a thing that we just like decided we're like, hey, let's just talk about Lost.
I still
Like,
haven't watched Lost.
Eric
Yeah,
never
like-
never watched Lost. Resented
yeah.
every conversation that was ever had about it.
Should I
Me
watch
and
it?
Hillary almost stopped being friends over it, man.
I know, it's pretty
It
rough.
was
We didn't talk to
serious.
each other for like 10 years.
Yeah, it was serious. We finally made amends after all these years.
Yeah, after all this time,
Okay.
yeah.
We're good now. We're homies.
You had to
You
go
guys
back.
they like the podcast because of you guys. That's it. It was you guys.
Right, and we just brought ourselves. It wasn't like we had a bunch of like stuff
Yeah.
to talk about. We didn't really have a schedule for every show to go in. Like, or maybe somebody did. Maybe Bredvik had it written down somewhere.
No.
Like we really just like
Charles.
went in there and just talked. You know?
This is shit.
I-
Yeah.
I didn't listen to a podcast, and this is true, until 2017. Like ever.
Yeah.
Like
It's about the same
I-
as me. About the same as me.
never listened, never downloaded, never listened to one. And then everybody would talk about the start of podcasts in like 2009 or something. And I was like, whoa, wait, then what were we doing? They were like, podcasts didn't exist until 2008. I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure I was sitting in a room for like a few years there.
Yeah, right.
What were
They
you
liked
doing?
it 'cause, like,
on and
We were
People told me to be
literally the
quiet.
only people talking into mics at that time.
Yeah, I think they liked it because there were no other options.
Yeah.
I think that
Well,
was
Right,
what
yeah.
it came
Lack
down
of
to.
options. There you go.
scarcity.
That explains all of my marriages. My kids too. Sometimes my kids are like, I don't know if I like you, Dad. I'm like, well, that's pretty much all you got. So,
Yeah. I brought you into this
Yeah.
world. I can take you out of it.
no, I can't. No, they're way too powerful for me. I can't.
Yeah.
They're tough.
That's the thing you like to think, but it's not true.
Dave, are you married? You're not married yet, right? Or,
Yeah.
Or are you? Yeah, because everybody gets married eventually. We're Americans, for God's sakes.
I've been married for years.
Okay, you've been
Oh,
there
have
for
you
a while, man.
Yeah, you've met her many times.
No, of course I met her. It doesn't mean you're married. I remember.
So
Of
she's
course I
my-
remember your.
I introduced you to my wife on many occasions.
You know, it was
Right? No, of course.
It was
What?
How silly of me.
Dave, in preparation for this podcast, my lovely wife, I was trying to explain to her what we did at IGN all these years, and I literally
good.
Good luck.
I'm interested
Good
to
luck
know
with
what we
that.
did.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah,
Tell
good
her.
luck.
Tell me.
Yeah.
Please tell
No,
me.
the only thing I showed her was your Randy Pitchford video, and I was like, we did that. That's what we did. She was just like, what the fuck is this? I'm like,
Don't you worry
don't
about
ask
it.
questions that you don't want the answers to. It's dumb. It's pointless.
We
Are
had
you
some
going to
fun
go
shit at
back through
IGN.
this and bleep all the swears out afterwards?
Oh yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't want to age gate this. We'll kill our audience.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
not-
Our numbers will nosedive.
Plus,
I
all the ads that we're doing will.
I committed
like,
to
our
very
Oh
advertising
yeah,
will-
we'll lose our
yeah.
sponsors.
All of the 6-year-olds that listen to our podcast, they're not
Mhm.
18 yet. So
Right.
That's right.
We gotta
I know
think
the
of them.
feeling.
That's
I
true.
was 11 when we were recording this thing.
That's
That
more
part when I
math.
was like, vote for Biden, don't vote for Trump. Like, we're gonna have to do like a dubbing over that, where it's like, vote for whomever you like. Support you.
Or
Just get out.
whoever wins, just put that name in.
Oh, that's a good one.
yeah.
You like winners.
I like that.
Good call.
I mean, odds are we'll get around to posting this in like another 6 months, so it won't matter ananyway.
I don't. We haven't even discussed how this is going live, so I have no idea.
Yeah, right,
Once
right.
it's recording, when I'm done with it.
Maybe we'll post this in another 4 years. They'll be like, what are they talking about?
Elections were canceled 4 years ago.
Yeah, right.
We'll just broadcast this into the wasteland of what once was America.
I was gonna say,
Like a
they're
real
gonna find this file on Ty's computer in the
Yeah.
molten apocalypse of Texas that happens in 2 days.
It'll be an audio log found by the voiceless protagonist.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right.
Historians believe it must have been before 2020 when democracy was canceled.
Just make it
Just
so
like
you
an
can
Avid
click on
story
the audio
video.
log and still hear the audio log as you're exploring. I don't like having to sit and listen to the audio log when I click it. I want to click and then go and do a thing and still listen to the audio log. I think whoever's going to make this game, just please let the character find the audio log file and play it and leave and listen to it.
Make this game.
Much more enjoyable.
What are you
That
talking
we're in
right
game.
there, that little monologue, Nate, that will be audio log.
Wait, what are you talking about, man?
Because somebody's going to find this on your computer, Ty. Like, the world's going to go to hell in 2 days. So, like, a protagonist in a
Got
game
it.
is going to find this in your apartment. Like,
Yes.
like your apartment has been Last of Us, right? Like, it's
Yes.
all like there's trees growing in your apartment. Somebody finds the audio log in your computer. Like, what the hell is this? They fire it up, and then they have to be able to keep moving and still listen to the audio log. Like, that's just like a game design pointer.
Yeah,
For the
I
game.
like me that like you're like negotiating the apocalypse. Like, okay, we could do like the apocalypse after the election, but only if, like, when you find an audio log, you just keep
That's right.
walking. You don't have to just stop.
You got to keep walking.
Just
Don't
keep
let
walking.
anybody stop.
Yeah, the
You're gonna-
apocalypse fine otherwise.
the audio log is you complaining about the qualities of the
The audio
audio log,
log.
and then it's like, and here's
Yeah.
but here's the important information, and then it runs out of time, and then it cuts off. Make sure you keep walking while you listen to this.
Ugh.
Got to keep walking. Always keep walking.
I think the worst part of this entire thing is that my wife's always tried to understand what the hell I used to do, and she's definitely going to listen to this, and I'm like, it's over. You're just going to walk.
I bought a
out.
shake
I'm
weight
out.
once at IGN.
Yeah,
That's one of the things we used to do. I had a shake weight in the office. Used to use that thing. That thing had some interesting gestures to it. Like, just like use it properly. You really had to do some interesting things with your hands.
It's
Yeah.
a timely,
And just like-
timely reference.
Yeah. Oh. Do we have another ad
Speaking
to
of
read?
sponsors, Dave.
Yeah.
we got to make that money.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we do have one more. We have we were supposed to do this segment. Okay, so this next segment is brought to us by the Video Game Villain of the Week, and this is sponsored by the new Doritos Extra Crunchy Cool Ranch Mask, the only PPE that you'll want to wear twice. I don't know what that
Wait,
means.
are you reading? You're reading these things. Who the fuck writes this shit? Is that
Well, I
you or
didn't-
like?
The ad
The
copy
sponsors.
people.
The
It's
sponsors.
ad-
The ad.
Yeah,
the
the
ad
sponsors, man. I'm just making the
I'm
money.
just-
Okay, so the
People. Don't interrupt the reads. We're gonna
Listen, Marty McFly, just fucking read the goddamn ad.
the new
Marty McFly.
You sound like an idiot when you say it that way. Okay, so the new Doritos Extra Crunchy Cool Ranch Mask video game villain of the week is QAnon. That's weird, though. I don't think they're actually in a video game. Oh, no. Okay, that's my bad. It's Ganon. That was a typo. It's Ganon. The video game villain of the week is Ganon, brought to you by Doritos. Just the thing was on the wrong side.
No, sure.
All right, I got some rapid fire questions for you guys.
Let's do it.
Do it.
All right, Eric, who's a better host, Nate or Nate's Ghost?
Ooh.
Probably Nate.
Hey, thanks.
Whoa,
That's, wow.
wow.
I wouldn't
really
be able
nice.
to tell you though, because I literally never listened to any of the TRL podcasts, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with Nate because he's a nice guy.
Thanks, Eric.
That's nice. Man. There you go.
Dave, we kind of touched on well, I asked before, like, why did people like a podcast that bad? But Dave, why was the podcast so bad?
It's your podcast. I have no idea.
No, Dave.
Oh, me. Why
Yeah.
was it bad?
Yeah, why was it actually bad? Whose fault was it?
For the same reason it was great.
Whose fault was it?
Whose fault was it?
Nate.
Names. I want names. I think because it was a freewheeling disaster, but I remember my funnest moment was that I had like exclusive hot takes for a product that has unreleased. And instead we talked about Lost for like 2.5 hours. And then we had to go back to work and nobody ever heard what happened with the thing that I played, and we were just like, it happens.
I remember somebody at some point like trying to get us to like stay on topic or stay on a focus or something for an episode. And we just never.
And they're dead.
We just never did it.
I'll tell you why I was bad. I had actual resentment for having to do a podcast. I was like, this is insane. This is never going to be listened to by anyone. Like, why am I in this room? I have writing to do. The future of the internet. Rich snippets.
The first one we did was we're like, oh, we played the Halo 3 beta. Let's go talk about it.
Okay.
That was me, Hillary, and David. And we were just like, we talked about it. I don't remember what was said. Probably nothing
about Halo.
Nothing about Halo. But
no.
we were like, we did it. We did a podcast.
Allegedly, I was on the first podcast. I was researching podcasts and I found myself, which I think that reference is gone on the internet now, but it was like on the first IGN podcast with Dave Glayman. I was like, what? Who?
I remember we had a book. We had to like have a list of like all the studios that were and what was being recorded in each one. And there was like that podcast studio, right? And I remember like just there
was a podcast studio? We sat in a closet with a big giant fan.
That's the studio.
It was a closet. It was a closet, and HR was like, this is a fire hazard. And then they came and wheeled in this gigantic fan that just made it hotter. And they were like,
AC,
problem solved.
Fucking AC thing. I just remember like the list was getting longer though. Like at first it was just like, it was Game Scoop or something. All of a sudden it was a fucking podcast about gorillas. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I just got a message from Zoom saying, we've removed the 40-minute time limit because we love you. So
someone's currently listening.
Fine.
One of our 3 fans is currently at Zoom.
Oh,
One
Mr. Zoom
works at Zoom.
Mr. Zoom.
Wait, what if IGN podcasts were started by an AI and it's over time has been learning and it's basically just listening in on this, and it's like, oh, my original master David is speaking, and it's just granted us that unlimited time.
That's
and the
why
name
database running
IGN
IGN
is
always
an
crashed.
acronym for the AI's real name. PEER is an acronym for the AI's. Yeah.
Yes,
that explains a lot about Pear.
Our CMS became sentient, and this is what happened.
Network in a box is alive.
We forced a CMS to read 10 million articles written by IGN employees from the early 2000s, and this is what happened.
Wait, I'm curious. So Hillary, how old are your kids?
My son's 4, my daughter's 2.5, and I have a 5-month-old.
So for you and obviously Nate,
you are a glutton. You are a masochist.
No, I'm curious because like all the shit that we did, like we were part of IGN when like they let us, like obviously you just mentioned it, Dave. They let us do whatever we wanted. We published anything. Like there was no checks and balances. It was just the fucking Wild West. I'm not curious like what you guys think about your kids when they're actually gonna go on YouTube and they're gonna find Daddy talking about the most random shit in the planet.
Oh, I thought the opposite thing. I thought it more like when my kids are on YouTube making like millions of dollars so I can retire.
Yeah.
That's why I had kids.
But they'll still see you too. They'll see every Xbox minute we filmed, which is like 4 of them, but still.
I guarantee you nothing on the internet with me can embarrass my kids as much as I embarrass my kids almost every single day.
That's good.
Yeah, my kids are similar ages, man. Right, I've got a 4-year-old and almost 4 next month, and then a 2.5-year-old.
Yeah.
So I do not have a third. We will not be having a third.
Oh, it's fun.
Of course.
For those listening, flying, we used to get into these tubes, and
these really tight quarter like metal tubes.
Yeah,
and just go hurtling across the country.
And then and you'd land somewhere else where you didn't live. It was
you
crazy.
Get really close to other people for a very long period of time in an enclosed space.
Yeah, I used to touch them a lot, like sitting right, like really like sardines, just getting wedged into a place and
sharing
elbows
a
touching.
Lot of food.
Sharing a lot of food.
Yeah, a lot of sneezing, a lot of coughing next to you.
High-fiving to use the bathroom. Just like nice bathroom break.
Like you could talk to people right next to you. Like they'd be like shoulder to shoulder. You could talk to them like face to face. You wouldn't know them. You wouldn't know them.
Not like today when we all just live in Nate's house.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The party house in Seattle, where we all live.
The party house, yeah. The influencer house.
The influencer house that we all live in. With the influencer house where we legitimately couldn't figure out how to use Twitch.
I feel like we're all talking about how we basically started the internet, and then like none of us
can use today's internet.
Yeah.
Look, we realized a long time ago that the internet is not great.
No.
You should get
It's
off
true.
the internet.
Why are you watching
Little-
this? Oh, be off the internet.
Little known actual fact is that I do owe my entire career to Dave Clayman, because he did hire me in my first job I went to school in Florida, went to Florida State University. How the hell did you get out of Florida if not for a kind-hearted person in the video game industry to believe in you and hire you out to San Francisco? Dave picked me up the night I moved to San Francisco. He picked me up in his Saturn, the white Saturn, which I remember quite well.
Second Saturn.
Dropped me off in Lower Haight with Spence D
Good
and
luck.
Greg Baradon.
Find a place to live.
I said,
Yeah,
get out.
yeah. I was like, I had no idea where I was or what.
No,
I
we
was
got.
doing.
I made sure he had a hot meal.
Yeah,
and,
that's right. We did get a piece of pizza. We got a piece of pizza.
I made sure
That's
he had a
right.
hot meal, and then I said, "I'll see you at 9 a.m."
Yeah, and then the next day was Beta Breakers.
Yeah.
For my
Oh,
first
yeah, not
daylight in San Francisco.
Not for work.
No, not
See you at
for
9
work.
Not for work.
Not for work.
Not for work, for
It
drinking.
was a Saturday night. And I flew
Put on
out
this
the
put on this
next
costume
day.
and carry me around on a float. But you're not giving yourself enough credit. I think he would have arrived in any case, Nate. But I would just want to say a big you're welcome, not to you, but to your fans.
To the world.
Sure. Here we
Ty,
are, 14
All
years
this time
later.
later, Ty. Lost. Yay or nay?
All this
It's
time
been a
later.
decade or more.
Oh, I fully 100% say yay.
All right. That's
Yeah,
man.
I mean, mainly just due to the fact I was actually thinking about how like Lost kind of started the revolution of TV as we know it today, where like
Absolutely.
everything is just
Oh my
a
God,
awesome
yeah.
show,
And ruined Star Wars.
and in Star Wars, yeah, 100%.
I mean, could you imagine being a person who never watched Lost, considering how much impact it's had on television?
Yeah, I don't know how you would live with yourself.
I don't know how you'd survive
Yeah.
today in 2020
I
without
would
seeing
just put a
Lost.
bullet in my head.
Missing all the references.
I went to a dark place.
It's like how many Lost references were dropped in the presidential debate alone, and it's like you just wouldn't know what was happening.
Right.
Gotta go back.
Really tough to follow modern life.
And they like zoomed in on Joe Biden, and then it did like that flashback for 15 minutes. Like, oh, that ties back to his answer that he.
It was just old Joe Biden with a
right,
crappy
right.
wig on.
Well, you know, The Fly. Like, The Fly it is pretty clearly the smoke monster. Like, I think that is a very clear
Yeah,
it's
100%.
allegory
It
to
was,
yeah,
it was just old Joe Biden with a crappy wig and a Camaro riding through Delaware, and he's like, I'll never run for president ever. And then it went back, and then it flashed forward to the apocalypse.
we have to go back.
He's flash forward to the apocalypse. Nate's listened to an audio log.
Wouldn't it be more like if it was Lost? It would be a flashback where he goes to some fortune teller that he like hit with his car or something like that, and then she gives him his fortune, and his fortune is like, never run for president or you'll cause the apocalypse. And then it's like, that bitch is crazy. And then like,
Lost 2, I think, is probably now that
Is it Lost 2?
Now that Jar Jar Abrams ruined Star Wars, he's probably going to have to go back to the Lost Well, and I think we're going to get a Lost 2 on Quibi 2, probably in the next 2
Spoilers.
years.
Spoilers.
That would be great because it would be nothing but cliffhangers, right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
You would give you 10 minutes, then you just have like a week to analyze those 10 minutes.
I try
and then something else random happens. You never understand what those 10 minutes were about. Perfect.
It's just like, whew, gone. I think
Maybe
that's the
Eric
one thing
has been lost.
actually that I really hate that about Netflix now, because like you binge watch everything, and now like if I have to wait a week to watch something, I get pissed. I can't do it anymore. Not in 2020.
Well, so
No,
I've
it's all
never,
instant gratification now. I don't know. My kids
I
are not
need
going to know a
everything
world where
right
they have
away.
to wait for things.
Like I will not watch The Mandalorian until they're all out, and everything else out there.
All of them?
You're
Because
binge
they're
guy.
on like season 3. You're just going to wait till all of them are out.
No, the whole season. I'll wait the whole season. I can handle a season cliffhanger. That's fine.
Yeah, I won't watch a show until it's canceled. Like I've got to have
There
it
you
go
go.
all
I
the way
like
through
that.
the end and ensure that I'm not going to have to wait for anything. Then I'll
Cancel.
watch
Just
the show.
gone.
and make sure it cancels mid-season.
Oh yeah, that's the best. It makes it like 3 episodes and then it's done. I'm like, ooh, okay, I can get through this.
Man.
It's like a,
All right.
it's like a one. Sometimes you're reading a review about a video game. It's like the
but
game's
then
4 hours long, and I'm like, that's great. I can finish this.
the problem is that like then the show could come back like Firefly, and then you're screwed.
Oh
You
yeah,
make a movie
that's,
about it, and you're
that's
just
the
like,
worst.
yeah.
I only read like 75% of a novel, and then I stop because I'm like, I can make up my own ending.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, show gets canceled mid-season. I'm like, that's an opportunity for me to just guess what.
Guess what happened.
My own ending.
I like that.
But that's literally what happened with Game of Thrones. So we know how that works out.
Yeah.
Somebody read 75% of it and was like, I can make this up.
They're like, just fuck it. Tell you what.
Let's fanfic this.
Do what you want. Who cares? Whatever you want. That's fine.
I'll take us home. I'll take us home.
Don't worry about it, guys. I got this.
I got this.
I read
That's
enough
all
of
of the endings now. That's what I'll do.
You want Jon Snow to kill her? Fine. That's fine. Just go. Let's go.
Oh, but Eric, you didn't watch Lost, so you didn't see how it crossed over with Lost in the last season of Game of Thrones.
The plane overhead. That's all. That was the last shot of Game of Thrones. Was the plane.
Yeah, that was everybody was like, "Oh, they've got a plane in the shot," and I was like, "No, that was Oceanic Flight." Was it 720?
I was trying to remember.
Who knows?
420? It was Oceanic Flight
420.
420.
That's right.
Oceanic Flight 420.
Get it? Get it?
Yeah. People were like, "Oh, there's a Starbucks cup in the shot." And I'm like, "That's how you know it's the flashback character."
Yeah, no.
Yeah, duh.
This is all fake.
Lost was so in San Francisco we had a friends group that got together because of Lost every week, of course, like everybody did. Made like a dinner, everybody brought stuff. But that's like one of the first times I hung out with my now wife was at those dinner parties. Yeah, we extended the dinner party thing through Breaking Bad, did the whole Breaking Bad show like that. So they were like weekly dates for us as we started dating. So Dave, thank you for my career, and Lost, thank you for my marriage.
Your kids better be thanking J.J. Abrams.
Yep. Abrams.
Yeah, they do every night. We pray to JJ, of course. Hello.
Yeah.
He ruined Star Wars, but he made more Aherns. So.
So speaking of that, I'm gonna ask you guys, what is worse than? Is the most recent Star Wars film worse than the prequels, or the prequels still bad? Are still worse than
No,
the
the
new
prequels
one?
are still bad. The prequels are still
I know
bad.
they're still
Like,
bad, but are they worse than Return of Skywalker, or whatever the fuck?
They're for sure worse than the they're for sure worse
I
than
only
the
got
current
like
ones.
5 minutes into the last Star Wars movie because I think what Adam Driver shows up and like the Emperor's there, and I just started laughing. I was like, I can't watch this.
Yeah, exactly. I
haven't
couldn't
seen
watch
anything
it.
yet.
I was just like, this is what? I'm like, no.
It's just one big plot hole. The entirety of the movie makes absolutely
It doesn't make any sense, man, at all, dude.
That was the super weapon, right? The plot
the
hole.
plot hole.
No, it was like they read a subreddit and they just said, let's just put all that in this movie.
It was like IGN's content management system read 10,000 articles of Star Wars coverage and made a movie.
They auto-generated it.
It was like an auto-generated Star Wars movie. Yeah, it was probably the very first one. It makes perfect sense.
I mean, that context is probably pretty good.
The Birdman returns with another lightsaber-oriented outing.
Yeah.
I mean, Dave's got an original scene right behind him, so.
It's that. Oh, Hillary, you missed it. That's how it ends.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. That's.
But it's like in a freeze frame, so it's basically a cliffhanger.
They just ran the text, the scrolling. They're like, they're like, we ran out of SFX. We ran out of special effects money. There's a lightsaber happening. It's super badass. Buy the toys. The end.
The end, done.
At the end, even like the best, like the high point of the prequels, I think most people would argue is like the first in the Phantom Menace, Duel of the Fates is playing like it's the Darth Maul, Qui-Gon
Jinn fight.
Yeah. But even in that lightsaber fight, there's so much unnecessary flipping and just ridiculous things, unnecessary extraneous movements just to be flashy and like, ooh, Jedis can move now.
That was sweet.
I can't remember one thing about the Return of Skywalker. Like I really, other than that first 10 minutes where I was like you, Hillary, I was like, no, I'm out. Like, but that's it. Like, I think my brain just shut off at that point, and I'm just like, I walked out of the theater 2 hours later, and I thought I had a stroke. And I was just like, what the hell just happened? So I remember the Duel of Fates. I remember the awful dialogue in Return of the Jedi, or not Return of the Jedi, and The Last Jedi, or whatever the fucking last prequel was. I don't even know what the fuck it was called, but yeah.
Rise of Skywalker. Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith. There you go. Yeah.
Return of the Last Jedi.
Return of the Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Done.
QAnon.
Return of the
was
Rise.
my favorite Jedi though.
Yeah.
QAnon.
Rise of the Return
QAnon
of
Jin.
the Last Jedi.
QAnon Jin was the best Jedi.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Jin.
Shout out to the best Jedi, QAnon Jin.
He was really annoying though because in every fight he was just spouting off conspiracy theories while you're fighting him. You're like, oh my god, you're so annoying. Just shut up.
I know. That was like right, and then Ray turns to the camera and she's like, "I'm Jack and Kate's daughter," and you're like, "Come on."
Actually, okay, now this is the Star Wars podcast because I had to stop the other day because my kid was watching. My son watched Star Wars like a year ago or whatever for the first time. And I was watching it. Like Obi-Wan Kenobi, right before he lets himself get killed, he goes, "If you strike me down, I'll be more powerful than you ever imagined." And then you watch all the other movies, he's like never powerful. Like he basically is like a ghost, and like every once in a while he'd just be like, "Hey, remember how I taught you the Force? You should use that." Yeah. Or he's like, and Hoth, and he's like, "Hey, I'm a ghost." But what power did he get?
Nothing.
Well, the power of conspiracy theory. He learned it from QAnon Jim.
That's right.
And he infected Luke with the conspiracy theories, and then that was it.
But then it's made worse.
Ring in the Jedi Order.
That's made worse because then we find out in the Revenge of the Return of the Jedi that Solo just pops. He's not even ghost mode. He's just regular mode. He's like, "Hey, did you know we could do this?" And you're like, "You're not even a Jedi," and he's just hanging out, not even ghost. So like Obi-Wan was like, "I'll be more powerful than ever," and he doesn't even, not even as ghost mode. He could have just been walking around hanging out with people. He didn't even do that.
What if Darth Vader isn't Luke Skywalker's father? He just read like a thread on like 4chan, and like he was like, "Oh wait, I'm this dude's dad."
Mm-hmm. He read the subreddit.
Yeah, he bought into his own subreddit.
Yeah.
You should never buy into your own subreddit.
QAnon Jin. That is the takeaway from this podcast.
All right, I'm gonna go back to the questions. Nate, marry, fuck, kill, ghost of Christmas past, present, or future?
Ooh, marry present, fuck past, kill the future.
Wait, you would marry the current present?
Yeah, the current present, because Christmas with my kids right now is like the best thing ever. Oh my god. It is the most joyous day ever. Yeah. Seeing your son's face when he walks down the stairs and sees all the presents is like, oh my goodness, there's no finer feeling.
I got bad news. We're not making it to Christmas this year. I'm sorry to say.
But like Nate, your kids probably aren't old enough to understand calendars and what it means anyway. You can just do Christmas tomorrow before the world ends.
Yeah.
That's true. We could just do Christmas tomorrow. I'd be like, why is it right after Halloween?
Like, why is it after Halloween, Dad? Yeah.
Doesn't matter because the world's ending tomorrow.
Because we're all gonna die tomorrow. So
but they're not gonna question that. They're just gonna be stoked about it.
Exactly.
Why would any kid be like, "Oh, I don't want presents"?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if it's with presents, and then what I say, fuck the future, because the future's terrifying and it gets older and harder from here with kids. No, sorry, kill the future. Fuck the past, because the past was without kids and that was the best ever.
That's how you got kids.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Now are you worried, Nate, that your kids are going to listen to this in 10 years
and
be like, oh wow, so my dad hates me. Great, good to know. Good to know.
They'll get it.
Like I'm actually
no, they won't. They'll get angry and angsty, and then 30 years from now they'll get it.
Yeah, they're going to do a reaction video to watching my own dad say that I'm the worst thing ever.
It's like a single tear roll down his face. That was TikTok the moment that he turned evil and became QAnon Jin. That was the turning point. Sending him to the dark side.
On TikTok too, after their review Lost 2, in their 10-second reviews, they're going to do a reaction video to my dad telling me he didn't want me.
It'll be a Quibi 3 series.
Yeah, straight to Quibi. Every series guaranteed canceled after 3 episodes.
Ooh, that's for me. Sign me up.
Why would you volunteer to be here?
Ty, that was a question for you.
Yeah, Ty, why would you volunteer to be here?
On the web right now.
Yeah, he's clearly doing something.
No, I was looking at your little your agenda, essentially. What was your question? Sorry.
Why would you volunteer to be here?
Why would I volunteer to be here? When you're stuck in quarantine and you don't see anybody for like 7-8 months, you'll fucking suffer through the worst Zoom call on the planet just to see some different faces, even though that all of you are terrible human beings.
You just want to feel something.
And you have the worst podcast ever. I still want to be a part of it.
Oh.
All right. Last question I got. Eric, Do you have one TRL regret you want to get off your chest?
Regret?
Yeah.
As far as I can remember, it was exactly as planned.
Well,
It's all scripted.
It was all scripted.
Isn't
No
it funny
one
that we
ever
all
missed
thought
a
it was
beat.
like a nothing? We all thought it was like such a weird thing to go like talk into microphones. Like who? Like to Dave's point, I think you said it earlier, Dave. It's like nobody's gonna listen to this. It's like why would they do that when they
Nobody
can read?
did listen to it.
Yeah,
Nobody did
we
listen to
didn't
it.
ever have numbers of how many people listened to it. That's how dumb it was.
I love how we don't
We didn't
know.
actually
Like
know.
Didn't you guys get you got listener emails, right?
A
I
few.
thought those were mostly from
allegedly, those were all me.
All Nate. They're all Nate.
Yeah, they're all me.
Dave. I was super annoyed too. I was always annoyed doing the podcast because I was like, this is stupid, and I didn't
Right.
understand why we were doing it. I didn't know. I never listened to a podcast either for a long time.
Well, I didn't understand it because they literally didn't have like listener numbers. We had no clue.
Yeah.
And yet
Right.
they were trying to like buy ads. They were trying to like sell ads for them. And I was like, who's buying ads on something when we literally don't know who's listening to it?
Seems like a
There's no way
fad.
to track it. You're like,
But now we know it's Quibi too.
It's Quibi
I mean,
too.
there was a service to host them. Remember? It was like pre. We didn't even have it on iTunes, right? It was like a download link on IGN, I think, at the time, right?
Originally, they were just download links on IGN. And then we,
Yeah, you had to install Flash Player and Macro Media,
Right.
and then right click and download directly to
Right.
Windows Media
Right
Player.
click, save target as.
Yeah, that was totally true.
It was like before IGN had a YouTube channel. I remember I was like telling people and going like, "Why are we publishing video on the site? We should just publish it here." Like that's what
Dude,
you guys should publish it.
YouTube did not exist when we started.
No, when
It
it
did,
existed a
yes.
year after I joined IGN. I was like, we should just
I mean, Apple didn't have phones when we started.
no, they did not.
That's so crazy.
Rent was actually almost somewhat affordable in San Francisco when we started.
My rent was $530 in San Francisco when I moved there.
I was 700.
Yeah, and that was split. That was two other guys lived in that apartment with me.
Well,
So they
one
had
and a
their own
half.
530. Yeah,
One and a
one and a
half.
half, right? Let you guys figure out who the one was.
Like, who am I giving this video file to?
You can give it to
You
me.
gotta.
Just drag it straight into the trash can.
Delete.
Wait, this is a true story. There's there must have been at least 5 episodes of TRL that just got like thrown out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
at least.
there were episodes where I actually because sometimes I edited them, maybe sometimes Dave did, maybe Eric. But I would listen to some sometimes, and I would be like, "This is just
can't
so
post this.
terrible." I would just go like, "I'm not posting this." And we just
Well,
delete it.
I remember
Oh my God.
because we had to like hard link it. Like we had to build the webpage and you had to change the actual right
Yeah,
click
right.
to download it. I remember there were a few times where I like didn't update the URL and it was like TRL podcast number 63 and people were
Last
like,
week's episode.
62. And I was like, well, too late. I already deleted 63. So on to 64.
Yeah, I love that. That's great.
I don't
64 is
think
gonna be
there
the
was
best
any
ever.
60s because the one thing I do remember, probably the meanest thing we ever did was GameScoop was gonna get to I think number 100, and we were at 50, and we just skipped to 100.
Yeah, we did.
And then we had a flashback episode where we just talked about the 50 episodes that never got aired. And I know that really pissed off Damon. That was definitely the worst thing we ever did to somebody else.
That's amazing. That's funny.
We're the first podcast that ever gets 100 episodes, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give this to just give the file to Mr. Zoom, and he'll put it on the internet.
You should label this TRL episode 1000 or something. I mean, why not?
Yeah, the T1000.
Yeah, done.
They have a snag in that I got banned from Twitter for making fun of Trump, and I'm still
Right.
not allowed on Twitter, and
Wait,
so
is
that
that
kind of
true?
halted our conversation.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I
One day
posted
got
disappeared.
four.
They
I posted 4
disappeared
jokes
Hillary.
about Trump, and I've been suspended for a week and a half.
What the fuck?
That's what got you canceled off of a
For
platform.
making fun of
Well, I mean,
Trump?
they didn't give me a reason. It's just that's the last thing I tweeted, and then the next morning I was going on
That
Twitter,
is
and it just popped up.
so
the same
mean.
thing,
Was it a
"You're
bad
suspended,
joke?
Get the fuck out of here.
Was it a bad joke?
Yeah, what did you say? You said
What did you say?
It was right after the debates, and I was making fun. I just made a series of jokes about because Trump said he knew more about wind than anybody else. So I was just making jokes about why Trump would know more about wind than anyone else. He's full, they're dumb. He's full of hot air. It's because he blows. That kind
He's a really
That's-
clever joke there.
of They weren't even good.
The fact that we can't read them on your Twitter account right now is a travesty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel
that's
like
really something.
Twitter might have actually been like, this content is so bad we have to fix it.
We've been looking for the line. We've now
Your
found the
jokes are
line.
so bad,
He's
we're
done.
banning you.
As
We're
it
done.
turns out, not every user is additive to our bottom line. We found that
Yeah.
actually just get this guy out of here.
You triggered the very rarely encountered Twitter content filter for just bad content.
Oh, no. Also, this is actually all just a preamble for my Quibi 2 show.
Hillary's tweets.
Yeah.
Goldstein finds gold.
I'm like,
See, my favorite moments were the ones that were completely innocent but still hilarious. Like I think it might have been Spence. When I got in early one day because there was like some early embargo and I had to drive into work to click publish on something at 4 a.m. And someone was there and they're like, how do you delete an article? And I was like, oh, you just go in here and hit delete. But what if I accidentally published it 500 times?
I totally remember that. Instance.
And I was like, you gotta click delete 500 times, man. There's no
sorry.
mass delete 500 articles.
That's amazing.
It worked.
I
And
dig
that
it.
was back when you could still in Outlook set everything to be in confetti font, which was animated, but it made every email like 10 megs.
Just like Jesus Christ.
a lot of IT conversations on my end of are you writing all your emails in confetti font? You're gonna crash your server.
There was a lot of people running over saying, please stop doing that. You're crashing our servers. Who is uploading an animated GIF that's 10 gigabytes in size? Oh, that's me. I made a GIF out of the entirety of The Devil's Advocate.
I did that. Yeah. When we launched blogs, Pear was like, "We got blogs." I was like, "Can you put an animated GIF in your header?" He was like, and then I tried to upload the entire movie, The Devil's Advocate, into the blog header, and I just destroyed the servers.
Oh my God.
He's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I don't know. You
Destroying the servers.
design flaw. I don't know."
Yeah. testing the product, Pear. Testing the product.
The attack is coming from inside the building.
The call is inside the building.
Dave's ripping DVDs onto his blog header.
Man.
All right.
Somebody do an outro. Thank you guys
Thanks
for
for listening
doing
to this amazing experience. Thanks, Ty, Nate, Dave, Eric. It was great to seeing everybody. See you again in another 10 years.
Yeah.
When we're like
I love you
fighting
all.
for gas and whatever else happens in the podcast.
Audio logs.
Obviously, Eric and Clement, when you guys come to Austin again for Guys Weekend that your guy doesn't come to, please hit me up. So
If we ever travel again,
If
we'll see you guys.
If you're ever in Seattle, Ty, come by the Influencer House.
Yes.
You have to quarantine for a couple weeks.
Yeah, on my way to see Logan Paul, I'll stop by your guys' place too. Okay. So.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
All
right, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks for the 3 people who listen to this. Bye.
Bye.
Have a good night.